I wasn't planning on doing a video for this, but it very quickly became more complex than just a matter of swapping out the pump with a new pump. There's the old pump. The cylinder is completely seized up. I should have done an oil change as soon as I got this air compressor. I was given this air compressor. I was told that they had never done an oil change, and I should have assumed that that meant the previous owner before them also had never done an oil change, and so now it's seized up. Things happen. I should have done an oil change, but I have a very bad habit of ignoring things when I don't necessarily know everything about it. And now I can't ignore it because I need my air compressor back. So this is a, let's see, here's the plastics. This is not going to be able to go back on because of the way that it fits, but the Craftsman 2 horsepower air compressor paint sprayer. It has been really nice to have, done the job well, but this new setup should be much better. Downside is the bolt pattern on this pump is 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches. The new pump is a Campbell Hausfeld, and it's a VT 4923 single stage 2-cylinder. The mounting, going back to that, 6.5 inches this way, 6.5 inches this way. This is, I think it's like 5.6 inches this way. This way mounted up perfectly. It was great. This way is about an inch shorter. So I had to drill and tap. So I have that. So this is the original hole. I had to drill and tap these holes. So that's good to go. Now I'm going to bolt it up. That would be the next step. And these holes, these bolts are 5/16 by 18. The 18 is the pitch, obviously. I didn't have a tap that was right for it, so I had to go buy an entire tap set. And then I found the Milwaukee drill and tap set at a different store and ended up purchasing that as well. But that's okay because I didn't know that drill bits come in 3 different sizes. So, let's get you a little closer. So, drill bits, obviously you have standard, SAE, and then you have metric. So those are, you know, the solid numbers, but then they do like 4, 4.5, 5.5, 6, 6, 7. Then they go alphabetically, A through Z. And so for a 5/16 by 18 tap, it calls for an F size drill bit. So I didn't want to then have to go track down the drill bit. It was a whole thing, but we got it. We're good to go. We've got the full set of taps for future projects, I actually have I'm going to be drilling and tapping the gantry crane legs, and I'll be using that tap set multiple times. And I'm currently in the middle of working on the gantry crane, but then the air compressor, through more extended use, seized up because I didn't do the oil change. But we don't need to talk about that right now. All right, bolted down, good to go. The Campbell Hausfeld has a V-style belt. The old style had the serpentine style. I don't know exactly what they're called, but it's got all these grooves. So I had to swap the belt. I got a new belt here. I believe this was 51 inches, so it's actually a little longer than what the other one was, but it was either this or 48 inches, I think, was the one underneath it, and I think that would have been too small for the application. So after that, I swapped out the pulley on the motor. So let me bring you over here, see if, oh, no, it's locked on me, so it wants to track me, but, yeah, okay, I'll just hit the, so that is a 2.5 inch V-style pulley with a 5/8 bore, and it fit perfectly on there. Now we've got the belt. Can install the belt. Okay, the next thing is I have to get air. I have to get air into the tank. The old system had the inlet goes right here, and the outlet from the pump was right here on the side, along with a discharge hose that came to this side. This pump only has one outlet from the pump, and so I'm going to have to snake the air from this side around, down and in, and then according to Copilot, I need to take this outlet and tee in that discharge hose as well. I can't just cap it off. It has to have the discharge hose in order to get the pressure out of the head after it's ran and shut off. Otherwise, the next time it turns on, it won't operate properly. So now I have to run that hose. And I have a mixture of things. So this is the 1/2 inch copper line that I'll be using. This is the original line. This is the original discharge line. I think I'm going to attempt to reuse this line here, come up and over, and then tie in to the copper line somewhere around here. And then in order to bend the 1/2 inch copper, I got this tubing bender, I've never used it before, but the idea is that it will have pressure all the way around so that it doesn't get kinked partway through. So we're going to be attempting that. All right, I'm going to thread that into there. Wrong size. Wrong size. Of course. It's almost as if I wasn't quite ready for this and I didn't have all the pieces preset waiting to be installed, and I'm kind of winging it. It's almost like that. You know what? I have a bandsaw. Much easier. Oh, gotta turn it off. Something here. I think I know what I need to do, and I don't want to do it. I need to go borrow a tool. Okay, so I didn't end up borrowing the tool, but I went and bought the tool, And I happened to find my cutter as well. It was right on the shelf next to the bender, so that was weird. Just kidding, but for real. All right, so I think the plan here is to come off of the discharge portion. I'm going to put a bend in this so that it comes back this way and then straightens out. And then we'll go from that with the T back that way. Hopefully line that up just right to go down into the valve, into the tank. And then this other part will continue around up to here. So I guess the next thing to make sure I got it spaced properly with the bend is to create a piece connecting these two together. Now, the last piece is going to be figuring out how to get from here to here. And this is a breather, so I'm sure I shouldn't block this. So maybe it'll come out, curve out, up into there. We'll see. Alright, I got the last coupling installed. I think everything is tight. The oil level I checked because it doesn't, the Campbell Hausfeld doesn't ship with oil in it. So check the oil level, filled it up. That's probably pretty uniform for all of the pumps because like if it got tipped upside down or something, you're just gonna have oil everywhere. So obviously it's not gonna ship with oil in it. So that's filled up, everything's connected. I suppose it's time to start it up and see how it does. Do electrical. I am gonna maybe drill a hole on this side because the protective plastics don't fit anymore. So the cord is kind of just back here. So I think I'm gonna drill a hole and put a zip tie through there to keep the cord from not getting wrapped up in the belt. But that'll be a later thing. So, all right, plugged in, start her up. I'd say it was a success. We got see 130 psi. Regulator set to 85. Guess we're good to go. All right, so the last part of this is going to be pulling the pin to let all the air out so that this will run for half an hour. That's what the instructions say that is required to break in the motor, or the pump. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I think I've got a working air compressor again. We'll see you on the next one.